Someone once told me or said to me on a social media platform, this might have been 3 years ago, there was someone that came on a social media live of mine and said, "Oh, I'm sorry they're picking on you." So, what I want to talk about is differentiating between this kind of goes in alignment with how there are people that's trying to downplay what they've done to the targeted population, trying to downplay their role, or trying to downplay if it's not their role, it's something that they knew about and they're trying to make a light of it. And they'll reduce it and say a statement like, "Oh, I'm sorry that they're picking on you." When we hear a phrase like that, picking on you, by the way, there's been a truck, an SUV, that has been parked across the street outside in front of Delta Manor apartment complex all day. It's still there. Now, if there's somebody in it, I don't know. Because a red truck pulled up next to it earlier during the day. So what is that supposed to be? Now, to be honest, I'm not for certain if this is the good guys or the bad guys. If the good guys are aware that these people are so obsessed that they're trying to cause some kind of tragedy, as me and my son do what the things that we need to do to take care of the things that we need to take care of. And they're so obsessed to such a degree that they're going to have a truck possibly parked outside, or they're just going to be doing and plotting things all day around the clock because of how desperate and obsessed they are. So I recorded it. I have it on video. I just didn't bring it up. I want it for my own records. I noticed it. It's there and it hasn't moved. And I'm sure the stalkers, anybody with eyes would notice there's a truck that's parked in a place that there shouldn't be nobody parked. It's that open land over there that belongs to somebody. Nobody should be parking over there. I've seen police pull people over from parking over there because you're not supposed to be parked over there. So who is that? Black SUV, Northwest Parkway. Somebody's gonna say, "Well, what if it's the good guys?" Okay, well, I don't know. I feel like it's peculiar because if the good guys were really there, then the guys that are up to no good would see it and would kind of get on their best behavior. And they're not on their best behavior. They're still circling around doing what they do all day, every day. So who is that? Because most of the good guys aren't going to want to be seen. If they were the good guys and they're trying to protect me, well, I don't know. That feels odd and off just to me. It's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I find it peculiar, though, that all of a sudden there's a black SUV. I'll show y'all maybe someday, maybe soon, maybe whenever I have to. Because I did record it. Because it's been there all day. And it hasn't moved since it arrived because I watched. I kept watching. Just out of curiosity. To see if it'll budge. And this is how I discovered a red truck SUV pulling up next to it, because I kept an eye on it. I was like, okay. And then I kept doing the things that I need to be doing for my son and the things that I'm preparing him for. Why am I sharing this as it pertains to what I'm talking about now? The phrase that this person said on one of my platforms, it's kind of like, oh, somebody's being mean, saying some hurtful things to you. Oh, you know, it's this light. It's very light. I'm sorry, they're picking on you as if it's something small time. Calling somebody out their name, that's something that you would say that's picking on them. Saying a cuss word, saying a mean word, they're ugly, or calling them stupid, or, you know, keep coming on their platform, calling them dumb. Like, okay, it's still insulting, but that's lightweight. What the people have been doing to the collective, like myself and my son, is anything but lightweight. This is a cult. As I speak, these people are doing spell work. As I speak, they're being disruptive. As I speak, they're circling the property. Cars that I have caught on several occasions follow me around everywhere I go. How come now, if it's the owner of the property, you know, there's theories that I have about the car. That it could be the owner of the property, you know, because the owner of the property across the way, they could, you know, is their land. They could park there if they want. Now, is the owner of that property involved is the next question. I'm not saying that they are, so I'm not going there, but it's a possibility. Because any other time, okay, I don't see Beaumont police. Any other time I would have seen them about 4 times by now. I find it fascinating that I don't. Is it corrupt government, or are they the good guys? But once again, as I said, what's been done and is being done to my son and me and those that are like us is anything but, oh, I'm sorry, they're picking on you. Going in and out of properties, sprinkling things, chanting things, trying to make their way near the collective. Every time they move, all of a sudden, and when the collective moves, everyone else got to go where they at, out of the blue sky. To be weird, to try to get an exchange, to try to get in the energy field, to try to be nosy so they can go report to their trashy motherfuckers. That's anything but lightweight. That's not light. That's not, oh, they're picking on you. Attempting to cause a psychological or emotional breakdown is not, I'm sorry, they're picking on you. That's an assault on someone's health and well-being. Period. Lying to a community, a city, a group about who the targets are in order to get folks. That's not, oh, I'm sorry, they're picking on you. That's an assault on the well-being, health and well-being and stability of the person by way of sabotage, by way of blacklisting and smear campaigning, i.e. black magic. baneful magic, because it's to manipulate and brainwash a people. Everybody's got that one person. We all have stories where we have the one people from our past, whatever, that's stupid, and they willing to do stupid shit because they never really grew up. They just old, and all you got to do is go cry, and they'll fuck up their life and their whole family on you crying some fake ass tears, twisting the narrative of a story that you're guilty about. And people will be out here ride and die doing some crazy shit because they don't have critical thinking skills or discernment. This is not, I'm sorry, these people ongoing. I don't regret the decisions I've made here recently, because it's never going to end. The corruption is too deep. It is to destabilize. It's not, I'm sorry, they're picking on you. That's, again, it's preschool, schoolyard language for mean words. This is an attempt to sabotage the life of a person, to get them to look unstable by way of the unstable abusive behavior that they persist at behaving covertly. I shared a video on my TikTok, and this person said it perfectly. They used all the right legalese and verbiage that, yeah. They're circling around as I speak. Because I can see, for those, because you all can't see that I can see right now. And this is a part of what they have been doing this whole time. Casting spells around the property from the beginning, and having people to daily do it is what they've been doing. So all the random strange things that I thought was strange and that people played into my face, talking about, oh, you should call the police. That I scratched my head about. It wasn't random, and it wasn't just garbage. Those were spells disguised in everyday life objects. So this is how they stay incognito in disguise as well, because you'll see some random garbage or some dead bird or some chopped up insect randomly on the side of an apartment. You'll see something like weird length and dust by the bulk that looks a little bit odd and unusual to be natural. But because It's things that naturally occur is what bypass the natural eye. But it's spells sprinkled with graveyard dust, graveyard dirt for death magic. Or hot foot powder, or some kind of a curse, or some kind of a hex, and some kind of a binding, and some kind of connection to some kind of an entity. Is what it is. But it's in plain sight, so that it looks like, oh, this is just garbage. It's not garbage. Oh, this is just a bunch of hair buried here, a bunch of, like a bitch went and bought a braid from the British fly bitch, and a shit, and no. I'm sorry they're picking on you. And it's also a connotation like we can't handle something like that. I want to say, collective, if you're watching this someday, you're one of the strongest people walking the planet. They say it's strength in numbers. I say differently. That's what they say amongst each other. You know, there's strength in numbers. But in the Bible that some of them read, it say differently. oh, I know I'm gonna piss them off with that one. I know I am, because now let me say that they're not all Bible readers or Bible believers. Okay, just to be clear, and I know that they're not all that. Okay, but a lot of them are. If you were to meet them and their persona and the way they talk and their bumper stickers and their jewelry and things like that, and the very book that they say they read and know as living word, that they say that they have, what do you call it, chewed on the word, well, then they would know that, and according to the text, that's really not always the case. Sometimes that's more of a problem than you think. You're one of the, whoever you all are out there, you're one of the strongest people walking. And I know you're tired of hearing that. And I know it's not, at some point, you don't find it to be a compliment, because it's like people feel like you should be able to just suffer and take it, because after all, you're strong and you'll be okay and you're da da da. And it's kind of like, I shouldn't have to be, though. That should not be what justifies abuse, is because someone is strong. But the reason why I say the collective is strong, and not in a sense that people would normally equate strength, I say it because you're fighting sophisticated criminals who don't have the courage to stand in your face eye to eye. You've been fighting enemies that don't have the courage to reveal themselves. You've been fighting enemies that are just devious. They don't know how to fight as an adult. They fight in secrecy and in the dark. And hiding behind tinted windows. And their corrupt leaders, as they circle around, a horde of hyenas. That's not power. And I'm going to continue to say that, by the way. That's not power. The reason why I say the collective is strong is because, again, you all have been fighting deception, illusion, delusion, smoke and mirrors. Chaos theory and shit. Woo, 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 everywhere, you know. You're one and they're many, and yet they think it's strength in numbers. Being strong should not be the reason why people make a statement, I'm sorry they're picking on you. It'll get better. Abuse. Energetic abuse. Spiritual abuse. It'll get better. Somebody abusing occult knowledge. It'll, you know, I'm sorry they're picking on you. That's not somebody picking, that's somebody obsessed. That's people, beings, whatever you want to call it, obsessed with cruelty. That should be alarming to the world. And it is alarming that it is not alarming. That's folks obsessed with money, power, status. And obsessed with winning, even in something that shouldn't have never been some kind of a game or competition to begin with. Never shouldn't have been a gamble to begin with. That's not somebody's picking on. That's somebody that's targeting. I do understand maybe where the person was coming from, whoever that was that said that, because they are trying to acknowledge, like, okay, you're a truth speaker. You're saying things that happen to you that people would normally be scared to say. And so as a result, you're going to have a lot of people pick on you because they don't like that. Okay, so that I get. But it's bigger than that. Whatever the collective has experienced, it's bigger than that. We can handle some schoolyard bullshit. We don't, you know, oh, they don't like you. They don't like you. They said you're ugly. Like, we're like, okay. When you become grown, you know, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm not in high school. Could care less. Especially once you learn what stuff is really coming from for most people. Even if they are not fully aware of it. We live on. It's the abuse, the plotting, the scheming, and the misuse. The attempts at someone's life is not somebody's picking on them. An attempt at one's life is multiple things. It's not just with a knife and a gun. Though they've done that too. It's not just with a knife or a gun. It's passive, so something could look like an accident. It's a manufactured tragedy. So something could look like it's just misfortune. Oh, it's just misfortune that they got poisoned. Slow drip of poison. That that's just unfortunate. That was just a tragic accident. Oops, I'm certified to do this, but I accidentally put poisonous substance in there, and life happens. That's not I'm picking. That is genocide attempt. That is an attempted assassination. That's attempted entrapment in some cases, because what some of these people are doing, like I've shared on my TikTok, I reposted a young lady. I think I started following her. She was talking about how they're always trying to get the target in trouble. It's entrapment. Yes, the criminals are always trying to entrap the target. The ones that are violating all of the United States of the Americas. Shit, nigga. All of them, bitch. They're violating all the things. All the laws, bitch. It's fuck rules. They violating the laws. Fraud, identity fraud, stealing people's ID. Yeah, I'm aware. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stealing people's IDs. Going in people's homes, houses illegally, and because there's no forced entry, then it's just made to seem like the person's cray cray. Oh, they're just they're disabled. Oh, oh, they're just stressed out. They got a lot of things on their plate. This is what makes this stuff insidious. And this also is why saying stuff like, I'm sorry, they're picking on you, is insulting, even if it's not meant to be. That's not picking on somebody, that's targeting to violate them and then get them in trouble. Because if you're stealing their IDs to what, do fraud? Getting their social security numbers. Like, people on that fraud, people on that extra fraud, people who claim they would never be on that fraudulent shit is on that fraudulent shit, and got the audacity to be trying to entrap the targeted population. On some trumped up shit, and they got all the violations. It's like, well, since we're gonna do this, you should be first in line then. Because if that's what this is, then we gonna hit all cylinders, and everybody, everybody, everybody. But essentially, what this is to scapegoat, single out the target to cover up their hand. That's the reason behind it. All right, as I am even still counting all the things that I need to do, clearing energy, because like I said, real time, all day, every day, they've been doing this. I am aware. There's nothing and no one, nothing and nobody, nothing. I'm fully aware of what the hell is going on and what's been going on. This is a cult. And it is alarming that it is not alarming to the world. I have repeatedly, much like the rest of the targeted population, we have repeatedly attempted seeking assistance by authorities, programs. And to me, what I'm starting to believe and feel with all of that is just to keep you going in circles. It's a waste of fucking time. While you tell the 30th motherfucker the same old goddamn story. And they dumb. Okay, come back. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Pulling in, Sister Soldier. It's okay. It's all good. Things is changing, bitch. While the target attempts to seek proper assistance through all the various mediums that they are directed to do, it's bureaucracy, it's process, and it's a bunch of nothingness. Meanwhile, life is continuing to happen. They are continuing to be affected and assaulted while people need to take them through 30 hours of process. The same story to a different agency. Over and over again. Interrogation. Sometimes some are insensitive. They play stupid. You can pick up on some of their little vibes. Then you can pick up on people tapping in on the phone. Then you can pick, I mean, because, you know, the collective has learned these skills over time. Then you talk to people who want to play teacher and shit. They want to play teacher and philosopher. And in the end, they still stupid. And still don't get it. And the issues have still not been resolved. Meanwhile, the collective and their family is still being assaulted while people need to go through process to soothe their intellectual itch or their false sense of grandiose supremacy or whatever the fuck. It's bureaucracy, it's bullshit, and it gets nowhere. It is exhausting. They're already being attacked. It's a psychological warfare game. It's a torture program. And if they whole ass self was under the same shit, they'd crumble and fold like a bitch. You hear me? Yeah. Yeah. The big wigs themselves would fall to their knees. Uh-huh. Yeah, the button pusher people, bitch. Whoever pushed the button. You know what I'm saying? I'm going there because it's real easy. Very easy to be on that side of it. And it's real easy to feel big and strong when you're on that side of it too. Not so much. Woo! I guarantee you they bow. I guarantee you. Some of the ones that's walking around with their chest on swole with army fatigues would fucking be in tears on the ground. Because again, it's easy to feel that way when you have a posse and when you ain't on the receiving end. We have men out here that are stalking me. Yeah, men. Old, young and old and everything in between. Yeah, stalking a woman on their dirt bikes and ATVs and in their owies, driving around showing up at Market Basket. You have men, various men stalking me. I am now all of 140 pounds. This whole idea of acting like I'm a danger is ludicrous and absurd. Like I'm someone who need to be watched. They need to be watching these men that's stalking and following me around. And I want to say the people that I made this reference to, I don't even think they're actually the person that I'm referencing specifically in this context. I don't think they're in the military. I think they got that at the swap meet. You can buy, you can buy army fatigue shit. When I was back in California, it was a ministry that I was a part of at one of the last churches before I left California, and one of these particular ministries, it was called, damn bitch, that's when you know, bitch, you getting old, motherfucker. Um, Women of Warfare and Worship. That was what the ministry was called. Because I was in two. I was in Elevate, and then I was in but I was in both. So anyway, they're very two different ministries. Very, from the good folks in these programs, let me just tell you, very beautiful. Okay, I don't imply not everything and everybody bad. Okay, just you see what I'm saying? It's not like that. I encounter very beautiful folks in both of those ministries, both of those branches in that church. The point, we wore army fatigue. Yes, we did. We would go to retreats and conferences. We'd travel. And, we'd had, the warfare prayer, and you got your army gear on and things of that nature. But we ain't in the military. You see where I'm going? There are people out here on that stuff. They have a problem with me. And people, when you're not all the way sound in yourself, when you have a problem with somebody, then a person takes that as a right to violate somebody's human and civil, they believe that. They really do. I mean, they take that to heart. They make it a certain special mission under their delusional thinking, and they think that because of that, then they have a right to terrorize somebody. Which the same Christians or people who are professing some kind of Christianity, I guarantee you, if New Agers, agnostics, atheists, spiritualists were to harass them in this same magnitude, they would be having the million nigga bitch march 2026. Because these New Agers and this whoever whoever these other people are, the Gnostics, the atheists, or whatever, is harassing us. They're terrorizing us. They're following us around, throwing things at us. They're discriminating against us. They don't want to give us a job because of it. They're spreading lies and rumors around so people will look at us differently, because we'll be the first and the main ones to push the U.S. amendments. Freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. If they thought that that was violated and they were being treated cruelly and harassed and assaulted, they would be making a big deal of it. So it's this utter hypocrisy and double standard. Oh, so nobody ain't supposed to harass y'all. But y'all supposed to be able to, under your assignment, you supposed to be able to harass and terrorize people, but ain't nobody supposed to harass and terrorize you. Because, people take offense to them just as much as they take offense to, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. That projection, that ignorance, that assumption that everybody, you know what I'm saying? They don't want that done. They don't want somebody up in their energy and up in their vibe on some shit that they ain't with. So what has happened to me and my son, and many like us, is no, I'm sorry they're picking on you. This is a violation to human and civil rights. Civil conspiracy. Sacrificing us to entities, to those who are a part of that part, my son and me. And on the other note of it, just for money, we believe in human sacrifice. We don't like money, insurance, Ponzi schemes. I had a relative, and I started to wonder at some point, ooh, child, honey, some point you'd be like, this is too many people dying, bitch. I don't know. I don't know no more. Cause why you always tell me, you collecting bodies, bitch. Everybody got COVID that become your friend and shit. I don't know about that. they got the COVID and they die, bitch. One is plausible. At some point, stuff just started looking weird and fishy. This person died, and and this person died. Okay, it's like, okay, and I see a common denominator is you. The hell is going on here? It's a thing whether people want to believe it or not. But at the end of the day, The actual physical harassments and the psychological warfare tactics and the actual tamperings and the things in which happen is enough that's alarming that it's not alarming. It's alarming that it is normalized in any city, county, country, state, location, place. It's alarming that it is not alarming, and that people will allow their personal bents to obscure proper discernment and judgment and justice. It's alarming. Abusers bank on the targets. Okay, it's damn, bitch. They bank on the targets being utterly, because anybody would be. They would be. They're not as tough as you think they are. I'm telling you now, they're not. Again, it's easy to be tough when you're not under the gun and when you hide behind posses. It's easy to be tough when you can hide behind tinted windows and fancy cars. That's not deep. Anyone, because that's the human frail, that's the human condition, no? Not just the target, anyone under, we all have different thresholds, but the point that I'm making is at some point, the so-called big bad wolf that's chasing Little Red Riding Hood in her red coat would fall. Their psyche would crack and crumble. Their sense of self and reality would crack and crumble. They would have that very thing that they're wanting to manufacture so very badly. They themselves would experience it. Psychotic break. Because when you ain't got no black card that you can go fan in front of somebody's face and make them do whatever you want. Oh, a whole lot different, isn't it? Whole lot different, motherfuckers. Huh? Shit's whole lot different. People forget. When you ain't got no money that you can dangle in front of somebody and make them jump. When you got no money, no car, no stuff to dangle to make people help you and make people, it's fascinating. It's a lot different when you don't have those things to pull on. When you don't know the commissioner, when you don't know the mayor, when you don't know the attorney general, when you don't know the sheriff and the deputy, when you don't know these people, it's a whole nother vibe, baby. That's when you'll find out what is strength. When you ain't got none of that. You ain't got a favor you can pull in and call in on a motherfucker to make some shit go away for you. You'll find out how tough somebody is then. When somebody ain't friends with the head witch of the Southeast, you'll find out where the toughness is and where it's not. We all are frail in a sense. We all have a threshold that's actually natural and normal. Because when you're talking about military grade warfare tactics, it's designed to break the person. That's the whole point. So it ain't about people not being smart, or that's what fuck is designed, bitch. That's the whole point. The thresholds, the targets have some kind of different threshold that's being measured. But this in itself is inhumane. That in itself is. Like there's some kind of walking test subject. Like they're not supposed to have a regular life, bitch. And like I said, and these will be the people, let little Meredith, little tiny Tim, these are people, oh my God, here comes a bitch fit. The slightest inconvenience, they're having a bitch fit on. Now, how the fuck they gonna take a torture program? They mad because they can't have their fucking moochie ice cream. Wild now. They're making a whole big deal of the fact somebody rejected them for another person. It's the end time apocalypse, bitch. How the fuck they gonna take a torture program? What the fuck? They can't even face somebody not wanting them. What kind of shit is that? How you gonna be tough and take the torture program? I'm a soldier. You can't even fade that somebody says something that hurt your feelings. You turned this to a whole war because somebody said some words that you didn't like. How the fuck? How the fuck you a soldier? Soldier ain't weak skinned. They're not allowing every little nuance take them to the end time apocalypse because they are a soldier. They ain't sitting up there starting wars because somebody said a meanie word. Because somebody said a cuss word. Oh, I'm gonna. I don't like. They said a meanie word. They said a mean. I don't like what they said. And turn it into a whole apocalypse. Yet, fascinatingly enough, the targets are labeled as sensitive, as too sensitive and touchy. But the fact that they're being abused is because people are too. Oh, that's a twist on that. Because if they were not bothered, then they wouldn't be bothering the collective, would they? They would pay the collectives no mind. They would actually take the advice that they're often barking out to other people. Don't pay them no attention, is what they say. Don't even trip. Don't even pay them no mind. Don't even this, don't even that. And that's what they would be doing if that were the case. They wouldn't be watching what the collective do. They wouldn't be following the collective. They wouldn't be trying to steal from, copy, look like, be. They wouldn't be worried about it. They would be somewhere being authentically themselves, being great, being wonderful, being true to themselves. Anyway, I gotta go. Gotta give me some coffee. It's gonna be a long night. I'm gonna have to have an all-nighter. It's gonna be a long one. Gotta be up. Oh, bloomy bloom. Gotta get some coffee. They're not picking on me and my son. They're trying to entrap and harm me and my son. It's a vast difference. They're trying to separate me from my son so that they can have power and control over him and do what they want with him. They're trying to hurt me and my son. It's that simple. They are causing mental and emotional unrest and anguish, and it is intentional. And they could care less about him as a person. They can care less about him being innocent. They can care less. He is a walking tax bracket to these people. A walking tax credit. They don't care that his life has been altered. They don't care that everything has been taken from him. They don't care. People are taking their vengeance out on him because they're suffering because of the decisions that they've made in their lives with their families. And what kind of crazy shit that they didn't invite it into their inner circles. So he's suffering at the hands of his distorted relatives from the beginning. And these various groups that they're connected to. And the list goes on. And for those of you all who thinks this is all a bunch of imagination, to you, this is what I'm going to say. Keeping things simple. At the end of the day, whether you want to believe in the full story of what's happening or not, there's enough tangible evidence of mistreatment. Period. The end.